am live. Give me one moment there. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty. I'm joined now by Miss Sherry Lundry with TARC. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am doing good, and I hear you are a star. I love you telling me that story. That was wonderful. So I know that this month is National Developmental Disabilities Month. So tell me about what this means to you guys over at TARC.
Well, it's a month where we try to let people know what we do and why we do it, and that we support those folks, and we want them to be included in everything, whether it's at TARC or in the life outside of TARC. So it's all about inclusion and awareness.
And so if, anyone out there, of course, we know and love TARC, but if anyone doesn't know what services you provide, do you mind, giving a quick spiel?
Sure. We have our Tiny K program is for babies birth to 3. And they serve and do everything from speech language pathology, occupational therapy, physical therapy, early childhood intervention, and all those kinds of things. We have our Avenues program, which is for our adults and seniors who can spend the days with us, and they volunteer in the community. They do music therapy, they do all kinds of things, cooking classes. And then we have TARC Industries and Employment Services, which is where they can go and work, whether it's with an enclave out in the community or within that facility where they have contracts. And then we have case management and self-determination, and those are two things that people aren't on site for.
Wow, I mean, that is quite the list that you guys have going there. And I know that, of course, it says here, I did some research before, you provided some amazing links for me to look into. So nationaltoday.com says about 15% of the world's population lives with a disability. So that is such a large number, and I don't think we really hear about that enough. So do you, is it mainly about spreading awareness this month?
Absolutely. To let people know, and to know that there are so many people with disabilities out there, and a lot of the folks that you see, you wouldn't even know that they would have a disability, but they do. Autism is one of those. Some of the others, are like with speech and language or eating. We have a feeding clinic that is phenomenal. Dr. Alicia Delgado.
With eating disorders, dealing with those?
She has her doctorate, and she can analyze swallowing studies, and they can do swallowing studies. And we have a couple of really good success stories where a little one came in and couldn't eat anything, and now sits at the table and eats pizza with their parents, and just all kinds of great stories through
just
the
pizza, no vegetables?
Oh, no, well, that's the story I have.
That's wonderful. It's a wonderful story. And I know, okay, so a little bit of a history back here, which I had no idea about this. So President Kennedy had his sister Rosemary had a disability, and I had no idea. You don't ever hear about that side of things. So he used his power, of course, as his presidency to bring attention to those people with disabilities with, I think it was living life with intellectual and developmental disabilities, so IDD. And I know that the theme this year that was chosen was Beyond Conversation. Do you know really what that means here?
That is getting people out in the community, seeing, not just hearing about it, but seeing and including them, and having them, interact and be part of whatever's going on. So
be a part of the talk and be a part of that engaging. And I know that a lot of those people, like you said, are in the community that you don't even realize that you might be interacting with them, but you are.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Are you doing anything in particular with TARC this month? Do you guys have any events going on?
Well, we will on March 21st, which is National Down Syndrome World Down Syndrome Day. We will do Rock Your Socks, which is a thing that came about a few years back because socks look like chromosomes, and Down syndrome is actually called trisomy, which means that there is an extra 21st chromosome, which is what Down syndrome is. And so when you look at the graphic, you can see these striped socks, and they actually look like chromosomes. So we decorate socks, we wear crazy socks, there's all kinds of things on that day that we try to do about that extra chromosome.
And is this a national thing?
Yes.
I think this is, right? Because I think I remember people, talking about it last year. I love the idea of the fun socks and doing that. I think they do it across schools, right? So you guys encourage other organizations to get out there?
Absolutely. And I believe a few years back, I was on with you all, and we made crazy socks one morning, really early in the morning. We painted socks. We had white socks and we painted them.
What?
So yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me that, Sherry, because now I am going to want to go out and do that. That is wonderful. So what do you encourage people to do this month to, show their appreciation, show their respect, show that they want to be beyond the conversation?
Well, one of the things that I always try to do, and this comes from when I was growing up, I had a niece who had a developmental disability. And I always try to make eye contact when I see a little one or an adult. I try to talk to them. I try to interact with them, and I think that's what everybody should do. You don't exclude, you include. And so, you know, they're sitting there and they're looking around. You know, I just try to talk to them, and I think people are afraid to do that.
Yeah.
I think that they don't know how to interact with that. I have a grandson who saw a little boy with a developmental disability, and he didn't know how to interact with him. And my daughter-in-law called me and said, how do I explain this to him? You have some good words for me. And so we talked, and I had already talked with him a little bit when I was with him, not too long before that. So I mean, I think that's the hard piece, that people don't know how, and we need to encourage that more and just be there and include them. If you have a child in a classroom that has a birthday, your child has a birthday, and they have a child with a disability in their class, invite them to the party.
Yeah.
Don't exclude them, include them. So that is the biggest thing.
I love that statement there. Include, not exclude.
Yeah.
I think that could be said for many things as
Absolutely.
well. But I
Absolutely.
appreciate you always, Sherry, for coming on here.
Well, thank
and
you.
of course, we love what you guys are doing, and I will make sure to wear some fun socks
on the 21st.
on March 21st.